Okay, I'm going to show you how we have set up our records in Presto. If you're using something other than Presto, these probably won't work because some of the styles are specific to Presto's responsive framework. Also, if you have a Presto site that's not responsive, this also will probably not work. So this is our women's basketball records page. A lot of our other records pages look pretty similar, and because it's a responsive site, I want our records pages to be responsive as well. So if you see, if we shrink our window size, everything moves down into one column. Okay, and let me show you how we achieve that in Presto. So to start with, this is the HTML. This is what this HTML page looks like. So these are my buttons at the top. I have some special classes to make them look the way they do. And this is kind of the heart of the responsive framework in Presto. So inside this div with the class row fluid, you can fit 12 spans. So in this example, I want 3 columns. So 3 divided by 12 is 4. So class span 4, class span 4, class span 4 adds up to 6, or adds up to 12. You could do 6 and 6. You could do 3, 3, 3, and 3. You can do it however many you want to get the layout that you want. And then here is just a second row with another 2 divisions. And what that does basically is down at the bottom. So you can see it starts over again. We could do it so that the records kind of flow right into each other, but because these are team records as opposed to individual records, I thought it would be better if they both started at the same spot. So you can see right here I've got this code that says $website.include. That is Presto's code for including one page in another. And with records pages, especially like this one, if I put all the records into one HTML page, it would kind of get unwieldy. And to kind of help that, basically I've split it up into a bunch of sections. And for example, this page right here is going to include the individual game records page. And this code right here will include the individual season records page, and so on and so forth. So if we go back to the page, and you can actually see in the with the wiki links showing that I can actually edit just this right here, and that's just because that's just one page. So if I want to really easy come in and edit my individual game records, I just come to the bottom of the individual game records and click edit, and all I have are the individual game records. I don't have to deal with any of those other records, and that kind of cleans things up and makes things easier. And as you can see here, it's all in one table. And I'll pull this. Actually, in Dreamweaver, this is what it looks like. It's just one table. And what that lets you do is that it makes that these columns are aligned. So you could technically do a table for each category, and it would make the content fit better, but it would not look as clean. So, for example, in records that have extremely, and I don't even know if there's so here's an example. If we were to use separate tables, this would probably shrink down to just be on one line. But it would make these in a different alignment than these up here. And I want everything to be nice and clean in alignment, and I would rather go to a second line on some things and have, for lack of a better term, your tab stops being off. It's not really tab stops, but you kind of get the idea. So basically, we create a table, we put everything in it, put all the marks and dates and whatever we want to keep track of in the table. And I use this little class right here called Woo Table Records. That's something that I have created and styled myself so that whenever I apply that to a table, they will look like this. So I don't have to hand make these links or lines or colors. It's just applying that class will make them all look the same. And that means that they'll look the same throughout the site. So anytime we go to a records page, all these tables will look the same. And I will share some links to where you can find the CSS that I've used to make that work. And so basically all you're doing, and actually we'll go, let's browse, go to the back end, Presto. So this is what my directory looks like. So I have my index file, and then I have all these subfiles. And so all I'm doing is including those in that index file, using these span classes, and that gives me this nice responsive design. And so all the records are there. It's not super clean. It's not I kind of wish the OCD in me wants these all to have the same length, same number, but those are the records we have. So that's kind of what we have to deal with. And they're all there. It's all responsive. And if you're using Presto, it's fairly simple. So that's it. Pretty easy.